Survivor 42 is just upon us, and with that long, dry, and boring off-season almost over, it's time to start taking this channel more serious. Every week during Survivor 42, we're going to be giving away Survivor buffs for free. Yes, that's right, free! If you like free things or you're a Survivor superfan, you should 100% subscribe to the channel right now as we are slowly closing in on 2,000 subscribers. If you've read the title, then you already know what this video is going to be about. We are breaking down all of the juiciest of Survivor 42 bold predictions. However, before we get into it, please drop a comment down below with your bold prediction for how Survivor 42 is going to shake up. Anyway, a video like this just can't be done by a single person. I wouldn't dare give random bold predictions on the internet alone, so ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please bring your hands together for fellow Survivor YouTuber FlynnMasters.
What's up guys, I'm FlynnMasters, and a big thank you to RussellMuscleTV for inviting me to do this bold predictions video. Subscribe to my channel for unique top 5 and 10 lists, and a list of interesting Survivor topics, and occasional coverage of foreign Survivor.
Number 10. It was no surprise that Survivor 41 got a very mixed reception from the fan base, and if we're being honest with ourselves, a mostly negative reception. A lot of the negative reception is due to all the fun our Lord and Savior Jeff Probst had with the out-of-this-world twists and advantages that were found. I can already hear the keyboard warriors in the comments section saying something like, why would they make changes to the twist? They hadn't seen how the fans reacted going into Survivor 42. And yes, good job, you're right, Survivor 41 and Survivor 42 were filmed in the same cycle, but I think discovering how the cast of 41 reacted to the hourglass and do or die might have been enough for some slight alterations to be made this season. Players like Danny were super vocal about his problems with the twist, and it's been confirmed that he had arguments about Jeff Probst about how the twists were taken too far.
It's really tough for me to process.
Danny, I don't want to hear, bro.
That's been the whole thing.
No, it hasn't been that. We drew rocks, we competed, and there was a winner, there was a loser, and the prize was what?
Feast and immunity.
Okay, I'm just asking.
My first bold prediction is that Jonathan will be the fan favorite of the season. Now, I'm not saying that Jonathan will be on Christian levels of popular with the fan base, but I do think he'll be a pretty unanimous, beloved player this season. He's coming into the season looking like a prototypical meathead that people like to root against, but I truly think that Jonathan will be a gentle giant in Survivor 42. And sure, it might be one of those cases where Jonathan is just your average character, but due to low expectations going in, people will think more highly of him than they normally would. But I also think Jonathan will just be that awesome bro that you can root for. Kind of like the cool kid in school who is friendly to all the other kids. He'll definitely be a challenge beast, which the casuals always love, and I think he could have some pretty unique alliances and friendships with the likes of Marianne and Jackson. Between being a beast on the outside and a kind soul on the inside, Survivor fans of all kinds will warm to Jonathan, and he'll be a pretty massive fan favorite in Survivor 42.
I have a world record in pull-ups with 100 pounds on my back, but there's a million world records. But there's one survivor.
And number 8 on our list, my next bold prediction is that we'll see a much more balanced and even tribes going into season 42, especially if you compare it against what we just witnessed last season with season 41. During the preseason of 41, everyone could see from a mile away that Luvu was going to be a dominating force and never go to tribal council. Although I think a lot can be said for the overall strength of the Taku tribe or the Orange tribe, I think the producers did a far better job making sure we won't see another Matt Singh type scenario this season. Taku might look like the strongest tribe going into the season, but there's something about the cast that gives us the feeling of tons of physical competitors.
We have to earn everything.
You can see the exhaustion on everybody. I want to push myself to the limit.
I'm out here to be the sole survivor. This game is so hard.
What did I get myself into?
My next bold prediction is that Hai and Chanel will be the Ricard and Shan of Survivor 42. Now, I'm not saying Batu will become a tribe of 2, but I do think Hai and Chanel will be the figureheads of the tribe, and the two will ingratiate themselves into the majority alliance come the merge. They'll find advantages, play extremely hard as a duo, but eventually they'll know they have to take the other one out to win the game. I definitely think when the season ends and you think of the best players, Hai and Chanel will be at the top of many people's lists, just like Ricard and Shan were for Survivor 41.
I'm gonna act paranoid. I'm gonna say to him, JD, I feel like you're working with Jeannie. The only way I'm willing to work with you is if you give me your advantage.
She has to give me her extra vote. It's just the only thing that makes sense. Now, I've been trying to come up with different scenarios of how to navigate Shan actually needing to say the phrase.
Wasted for the merge for us?
If you don't believe me, then play the idol. I'm not doing it.
Ricard and I work very well together.
We have not ever said to each other we are final 2. And we have enough respect and love for each other to say, hey, We're gonna have to fight it out one day.
Number 6, call it a bold prediction or call it a dumb prediction, but I'm hoping that the shot in the dark doesn't completely flop like we saw in Survivor 41. Way back when we were in the preseason for Survivor 41, I talked about how I was really looking forward to seeing how the shot in the dark would play out and be utilized, as it gets rid of those boring tribal councils where there's just simply nothing a player can do. Boy oh boy was I wrong, as this thing only ever got played once, and in the process destroying Sydney's game. This twist needs another chance before we completely write it off as being a waste of time, but I hope the players will utilize the shot in the dark more frequently in Survivor 42.
First shot in the dark ever played on Survivor.
Not safe.
All right, any votes cast for Sydney will still count.
My next bold prediction, and easily the boldest of them all, is that Lindsay will win Survivor 42. Yes, she's a loudmouth, yes, she may talk her way into trouble, but something is just telling me that she was crowned the winner of Survivor 9 months ago. She's on the Taku tribe, which is definitely the best tribe physically out of the 3, and if that tribe does dominate the merge, she'll have challenge shields like Jonathan in front of her, along with shields like Mariana and Jackson, who people will target come the endgame over Lindsay for being too likable. Combine Lindsay's potential to dominate the game with the fact that she could easily win 3+ immunities, and the fact that playing a hard/loud game is a lot easier to do in a 26-day season than it is a 39-day season. And I think Lindsay is in a great spot to make it to the end and get the needed votes from the jury and ultimately win Survivor 42.
I will win Survivor because I don't plan on doing anything less.
The number 4 boldest prediction for Survivor 42 isn't for the game itself, but for the viewers watching at home. This kind of goes hand in hand with the first bold prediction on our list, but I think Survivor 42 will have a better reception from the fans than Survivor 41. It's all about compromise and meeting in the middle. Survivor 41 took things way too far, and because people naturally don't like change, they reacted negatively. But I think if the producers are able to dial down the twist just a little bit, the fans will embrace this new era of Survivor much easier. And to bounce off what the specialists have said, we weren't ready for all the craziness of Survivor 41. At least we are ready for what they're going to be throwing at us this time around, and enjoy it for the best we can.
I've missed you. Well, I've missed the jungle and I've missed the ocean, but mostly, I've missed our time together.
The next bold prediction that I have is the one that I'm most confident in, as I believe Swati will go down as the best teenager to ever play Survivor. Now granted, the competition for best teen is pretty low, as even teenagers like Julia and Michael, while they had their moments, weren't exactly top tier players. But I have simply never been more confident in a teenager than I have been in Swati. She obviously has an insane background for a 19-year-old, getting into Harvard, enlisting into the Army National Guard, and she's proven to be a good leader in life, as she's even directed her own show. Combine her brains with her confidence, and I think Swati will not only make a deep run in Survivor 42, but she just might be the central figure on the Ica tribe. Remember, youngsters like Tori and Zach will also be on that tribe, and might look up to Swati as a possible leader of a younger person alliance on Ica. And come the merge, I definitely don't think she'll be afraid of making big, yet strategic moves, and when the season is all said and done, most people will forget how young Swati actually is, as she plays an all-time great game for a teenager.
I will win Survivor because I'm really adaptable. I've been part of a lot of different environments, raised in Silicon Valley, joined the military, and I think that really enables me to connect well with people.
Coming in at the number 2 spot on our list of Survivor bold predictions is that whatever the case may be for the initial thoughts of Survivor 42, I believe down the line Survivor 41 and Survivor 42 will be much more respected in a binge. The world we live in today is all about streaming and binging TV shows, and if Survivor 41 and Survivor 42 truly play out the same way, I think a future binge of these seasons back to back will play off extremely well, possibly play off even better than when we watch the seasons live.
My final bold prediction is that this season will produce the second legend of the new era. No matter what you think of Shan, I think everyone can agree she deserves to be on the Mount Rushmore of characters for this new era of Survivor. And I think Survivor will continue to stay strong with their casting and produce another legendary figure. Whether it's someone who I've already mentioned, like say Jonathan who becomes beloved, Chanel becomes Shane 2.0, or even someone out of nowhere becomes a big time player, I truly think this cast will produce another all-time great character and be a name that even casuals remember down the road as they cement their place in Survivor history.
If you aren't already, make sure to go subscribe to FlynnMasters on YouTube. He posts amazing Survivor content. Go comment down on his most recent video saying, hey, RussellMuscleTV sent me here, I love the content, and click right here to see me and FlynnMasters power rankings of the Survivor 42 cast.